thing is launched live, baby. On deck!
Good experience. Their heads are right, they've been in the weight room. I would say these kids got very strong this past fall. Just knowing that anything is possible pretty much this year.
And now,
we're focusing on one game at a time, just focusing on making sure we execute every play, every moment.
The Austin High Maroon On Deck Show.
Players, my teammates, we developed a really good relationship over the season.
Brought to you by Plains Capital, Nance Orthodontic, Mark Hart Architecture, by Delta Millworks, by Somanos, by Prosperity Roofing, by Cover Chevrolet, by James Gonin Architecture, and by the Chuck Nash Auto Group, by Tate Property, Terrytown Pharmacy, Innovative Care, Timeless Service, 8118 Dental Professionals, dental care focused on whole body wellness, Sportsman's Barbershop, a friendly neighborhood barbershop, Horizon Bank. Since 1905, Horizon has been proud to work with local businesses across Central Texas and beyond. And now to the Maroon Broadcast booth. Here's David Roy and James Scott.
Welcome in to Game 2 of our doubleheader here from Vandegrift High School, from the Viper Pit, as it is referred to, or Venom Field, as others may call it. I think Viper Pit sounds better, considering it's the Vandegrift Vipers who are squaring off against the Austin High Maroons in Game 2. Now, earlier today, here this morning, we saw Austin High take on Corpus Christi Carroll. And Austin High won in pretty convincing fashion, 17-4, played through 4.5 innings, as it were. And Austin High got the bats going early. Now, as we talked about, the Corpus Christi pitching was on its back legs a little bit and was on its last legs, as it were. We'll see if that's going to be the case with Vandegrift. All signs would point to most likely that will be the case, but may offer a little bit of a different challenge for Austin High. And on the Austin High side of things, Jane Besa took the mound, and so you'll have a fresh set from a starting standpoint going into district play this week, Del Valley on Tuesday, for Austin High's home opener at Burger Field. You'll get to choose from Fletcher Wilson, Henry Shooter, Ty Schreiber, and Jaden Besa, of course, will all be available most likely for that. So you'll have a little bit of opportunities there. Jason Martinez, of course, will be a part of that. For this afternoon, not much is changing in terms of the lineup. We'll see Logan Kenny come off the mound, but as we turn our attention towards this and as we get ready to go, it's almost like a last showcase for maybe some of the guys who are getting opportunities here on both sides going into district play. Maybe if there's any competition still remaining, this is it to determine it.
Yeah, I think we're carrying 21 on our roster, something like that. Mm-hmm. And I don't think for district play, to start district, we should probably have that many. Yeah. I would let some guys get some fresh game reps at JV1 level. And then that way they can be ready in case you have an injury or grade issue or whatever, so they can be, ready to come back up versus just sitting on the bench for a while. So to your point, David Roy, this would be a last opportunity for some folks making a bid for playing time before we do kind of set into that rotation.
And we'll see, too, when we talk about making that change, right? You talk about sending some guys down and not needing to carry 21 going into district play. What is that ideal number? You're probably looking more 17, 18, more like it, or are you going even lower than that still?
Probably no more than 18, especially with as young a club as we have. We have several sophomores on here and several juniors. A couple of years ago, Westlake carried like 27, but 22 of those 27-ish were seniors. So that's the difference there. You know, I'm much more of a fan of playing than I am of sitting. So, you know, if you got the opportunity to go get some in-game at-bats, even if you're a sophomore or junior, you know, go take advantage of that and be ready when the coach calls your name to come back up.
Well, we'll see what that looks like. We won't find any of those answers until we get to Burger Field on Tuesday night. That game, a 7:30 first pitch start time. Of course, as those of you who were with us last season and continue to be with us, you know that with Burger Field, it says 7:30, but that's never exact, because if they can start a little bit earlier, they'll start a little bit earlier depending on the outcome of the game that precedes it, because as you know, Burger Field is a shared field across the schools of Austin. Austin High, Aikens, Bowie all congregate through there. For today, we have the new lineup, and we'll see what that looks like here in just a moment. We'll make sure, we'll see if they do the national anthem here for this, or they will go into the lineup. So, why don't we set ours?
Yeah, we'll go ahead with the Austin High lineup here. Looks like we are going to get an announcement of the players, so we will get a national anthem most likely.
Okay, most likely.
So batting first and playing center field, number 3, senior James Scott. Batting second and DHing, number 1, senior Jaden Besa. Batting third and catching, junior number 21, Osby Contreras. Batting fourth and playing shortstop, senior number 2, Javier Godinez. Batting fifth and playing third base, junior number 6, Patrick Bird. Batting sixth and playing first base, senior number 5, Fletcher Wilson. Batting seventh and playing left field, junior number 10, Jason Martinez. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 9, junior Ames Alejandro. And batting ninth and playing right field, number 7, senior Drew Anderson. And on the mound for the Maroons will be Logan Kinney, senior number 12.
So there you have that lineup. We do have it on your screen as well as part of our new foray of graphical enhancements for you. And that'll maybe the second to last time that we harp on the new look.
David likes his graphics.
Well, we still have one more that we'll unveil a little bit later. It's harder to do during tournaments, but we'll have it, and you'll see it throughout the season. We'll be able to have the stats pulled up for you on hand. Now, Vandegrift going to come out, and they're going to get set up. We'll see Austin High at the plate first. Earlier today, Austin High worked the bottom of the innings. Now they will work from the top, since it is truly at Vandegrift now, and Vandegrift is hosting. They will get to be the home team. I was a little bit concerned. We got the white on white for Austin High with the maroon caps. Vandegrift, it's more of a cream on cream with the black cap. So we're offsetting just a little bit for it to be just a touch noticeable, and we'll turn our attention to the national anthem.
At this time, please stand and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem by Hope Rock Church worship team member, Mrs. Sarah Knoyer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets
It didn't start out this windy, but that wind has picked up, blowing from left to right here this afternoon. 12:56 currently on the clock. We'll see when we actually get going for the first pitch, but should be a good one here this afternoon before we head into district play. And now, we were talking about it in the first game, only 14 games left now on the season. 7 weeks, and then it's all said and done.
It'll go quick, and we'll see what we can do today against Vandegrift Vipers, who've been a tough team. They've had a lot of success on the baseball level. Obviously, football, they won a state championship. They're at a District 25 6A. They're currently 9-2. Their 2 losses are to Bernie Champion and San Antonio Wagner. So, good team here, and some players that some of us are pretty familiar with. So, we'll get more into that. But, you know, we'd like to see what we've got from the Maroons, and let's have some battle over here and some fight with us.
Certainly everything went about as well as it could in the first game of our doubleheader this Saturday, and it's still a beautiful Saturday, but that wind is certainly going to play a factor. We saw it in the first game. A couple of them that got popped up, it changed their flight path. Some helped Austin High, some did not, as they blew straight into the gloves of some of your fielders. So, all things considered, you want to see a continuation of what we saw in that first game. Obviously, it's a little bit different. The lineup has shifted slightly. Most of your top half of the order is still going to be the same, of course, with the Sarge leading off and so on. You just want to see some of that consistency that we saw with the success that we saw from the bats. You're probably not going to put up 17. You know, that's a pretty big outlier as it is, but you'd like to still see some consistency from the plate.
Let's see what we can do here. Scott stepping in at .515 batting average on the season, currently carrying a 13-game hitting streak going back to last season. 600 OPS, he takes that for a called strike. 1236 OPS, 600 on-base percentage, I should say. 75-mile-an-hour fastball followed by 78 on the corner. 1-1 count.
And this one, Scott makes clean contact with. Up the gap, beats the throw to first.
Make that a 14-game hitting string. Nice job. Way to get us started.
And that'll put one on for the Maroons here early. So like we're talking about, that thing continuing, the success from the plate, and we'll see if Jaden Besa can keep it going.
Besa also swinging a hot bat. He's standing in, hitting .360, 500 on-base percentage for a 1060 OPS.
So Besa, the wind-up swing and a miss. And that'll put him down 0-1 in the count.
Besa's also got a home run, 6 RBI, 4 runs scored. That home run being an Oppo Taco.
This one way inside. Besa lucky he didn't end up taking that on the chin. Had to duck just a bit out of the way.
He threw a complete game in our first game of our doubleheader today. Nice job off the mound, getting that victory.
A 1-1 count, throw back over to first, keep Scott honest. Anybody who watched that first game know that Austin High got pretty aggressive in the base paths to great success. And Scott, with some of the speed that he has, among one of the best on this team at being able to advance. 2-1 count. Besa takes that one, ball 3. We saw a lot of this in that earlier game as well. Austin High competition had some problems. This one skips along the line to first. And they're going to say they get the double play, and that will be 2 down for the Maroons.
So to set the Vandegrift defense, catching you have Carson Tan. First base you have Canyon Millar. Second base you have Jack Herkamp. Shortstop Tristan Obilo. Third base Braylon Jones. We'll set the outfield after this.
Contreras fouls this one off.
Left field Tyler Lee. Center field George Farley. Right field Mylan Dean, I think. I'm trying to read the coach's handwriting. Contreras stepping in, 375 for the season. Batting average. Pops this one up.
Straight up. And that went high. It leaves enough time for third base to settle underneath it, and that will retire the side. So a quick inning here at the top of the first. 3 up, 3 down for the Maroons. We'll see Logan Kenny go to work from the mound when we come back. You're watching Maroon Baseball on the Vipe Live Network. Welcome back in as the Maroons look to go back to work here. Bottom of the first. We'll see if they can do as Vandegrift did here in the top of the first inning and see if Logan Kenny can send 3 down in order.
Logan Kenny on the mound today, making his second start of the season. He's thrown 3 innings, 82 pitches, faced 18 batters, 0-1 for the season, giving up 4 hits, 6 runs. Only 2 of those have earned. He has walked 3, struck out 3, hit 2. And stepping in for Vandegrift will be George Farley, one of the returners.
Here's a windup from Kenny, and this one low and away, and a 1-0 count for him. This one down low and away still, trying to work outside, and that'll go for ball 2. Here from the windup, this one hit cleanly. It'll get past third. The throw over to first, not quite in time, but a heck of an effort from Javi Godinez over at short.
A lot of range on that ball by Javi, and a great throw. The ball was just hit too gently to give him a realistic chance of making that play.
Bird tried to get over to it, just couldn't get the angle on it. So that'll put 1 on here for the Vipers. And this one comes back away, so early on here, seems Kenny wanting to work outside, or at least him and Contreras are trying to work the outside part of the plate in the initial goings.
Wind blowing left to right on your screen.
And perhaps into your speakers as well.
I thought that was you breathing hard.
Well,
no?
you know, I'm not quite out of breath. Contreras, that wind, I think you kind of saw it. He had the beat on it, but there towards the end, that throw tailed off as the runner takes second. That'll get him out of the double play.
The delay on Contreras' part and getting that ball down there, it's almost like he didn't know he was going.
I thought it was almost more like he's, kind of like a quarterback, just trying to find the seams, the laces on it.
Of course, he's blocked by the left-handed batter. So he's really relying on mostly Wilson at first to let him know he's going.
2-0 count. And let's send there into the zone for the 2-1. And this got fouled off and just caught the top part of the net. So it will fall into the pavilion back here. And a 2-2 count. Wind up. This skip to Bird, and Bird missed it.
Tough play, tough hop. He tried to come in on that short hop and pick it up. Was not meant to be. One of the differences between playing on grass and turf is that turf, you probably make that play because it's very true hop.
Right.
Grass and dirt, it just depends. And just miss that one. That should be a base hit, I would think.
I would think so, too.
That brings up Braylon Jones, third baseman.
Maroons still looking for their first out. And Jones will take for strike one. Does have a runner in scoring position.
Kenya Millar on deck and Tristan Obalo in the hole for Vandegrift.
That went up high, and Contreras popped up out of his stance, ready for your runner at first to make a play for second. Doesn't. The 1-1 check swing. They'll say he did not come around. Ball 2. Kenny doing what he can to keep him honest. So here's a 2-1. This one struck cleanly. Scott couldn't get underneath it in time. It just hit the outer part of the glove, and it will fall through. And Godinez baiting him. And they'll get an out of it.
Heck of a range by James on that one. The wind keeping the ball down. Pushing it down, came way over into left field to get that ball and just wasn't able to make that catch. But we did, to your point, get an out of it.
Well, it looked like Godinez maybe dropped it from Scott, and he just kind of let it roll. And he eyes down the runner coming from second as if challenging him. More on that in a minute as this one gets through past Anderson and right, and that'll score another for the Vipers on the base hit double.
Now batting for your Vipers, number 7, shortstop, Tristan Obalo.
So Tristan Obalo coming up, shortstop, senior. One out, runner in scoring position.
And 2 runs already across.
Both Obalo and Kenya Millar, who hit that double down right field line, are also part of that Austin Wings program.
And Kenny comes back with a strike. one. This one chopped down the line to third. Bird has this one, stumbles, and the throw is in time.
That was a big league play right there, Patrick Bird. He stayed with it, got the ball on the right hop, got his feet set, made a great throw on the run. He got his feet planted, so that's the way to make that play.
And he stumbled a little bit coming up out of the break and still able to make the throw. Runner does advance to third.
Nice job by Contreras with that block.
Wind up throw, this one upstairs, and another really great snag by Contreras. He doesn't make that. Good chance that runner's coming down the pipe. And Kenny comes back after the 2-0 start to this at bat, comes back with a strike. And a 2-1. From the wind-up, this one chopped back over to short. Godinez thrown on the run.
Fantastic play.
Time.
Javi Godinez, nice job.
So 2 runs will score here at the bottom of the first, but Javi Godinez helps to stop the bleeding, and that will take us into the top of the second with the Maroons, 4, 5, and 6 hitters when we come back. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vipe Live Network.
Hi, I'm Jenny Covert. Welcome to Covert Chevrolet in beautiful Bastrop, Texas, where small town values drive big time savings. At Covert Bastrop, we understand what matters to you most. A good deal, great service, and dealing with people you trust. What matters to you matters to us. Rooted in family values since 1909, the Coverts have been serving Central Texas for 6 generations. We want to be your car dealer. Let us prove it. Covert Chevrolet, Highway 71 in Bastrop. Together, let's drive. CovertBastrop.com.
At Horizon Bank, we're from here. With over 100 years of experience serving Central Texas customers and headquartered right here in downtown Austin, we're proud to support our community and the athletes who keep it strong. Stop by any of our Austin and Central Texas locations and see how we can help you meet your goals. We'd love to meet you. Or you can visit us on the web at horizonbank.com.
Welcome back in. Top of the second.
Javi Godinez up, leading us off. He of the fantastic defensive play to end the bottom of the first.
It was a heck of a throw from his spot over to first.
Godinez stepping in, 333 batting average, 471 on base, 1137 OPS. As he's leading the team in triples with 3.
Wind up here, Javi Godinez drives this one straight over to second, bounces its way over, and that'll be 1 away for the Maroons.
No batting, number 6,
Patrick Bird stepping in. Limited at bats, of course, just coming back from that injury we've been talking about. He's 4 of 5, swinging a hot bat. This is his 8th plate appearance overall.
And the wind up, swing and miss.
Pulled the string on him at 69 miles an hour.
Bird tried, he really shortened the swing, tried to check himself, just unable to do it. This one hit cleanly, if not a bit weakly, and that will roll its way over to short and makes the throw to first. And that'll be 2 down here for the Maroons. And up to their last out here in the top of the second.
Fletcher Wilson swinging a hot bat, even 200 on the season, but that doesn't tell the story. I think he started something like 0 for 8, 0 for 9,
Yeah,
something like that. So he's really come on, swinging well. He's got 1 home run, 5 RBI.
This one popped high. That wind's going to catch it, and we'll pull it in. The shortstop ranges back into left field.
Boy, that was a quick inning.
That came and went just like that. And so 3 up, 3 down.
Keys in the press box. Not sure what vehicle it is, but there is a Louisville Cardinal emblem on the keychain.
And so we'll head into the bottom of the second with the Vipers up 2-0. We won't even throw you to commercial break just yet. That was so fast, we didn't barely get a chance to say anything about anything. I mean, my gosh. These Maroons coming out, Logan Kenny, so far not too bad looking off the mound. Did give up a couple of runs, but the defensive effort around him, Javi Godinez from short looking fantastic today. And normally if it's not Kenny on the mound, Kenny's usually the one who anchors shortstop and Javi comes down to third. So, oh no, maybe Godinez challenging Kenny a little bit for that job.
Hey, wherever, either one of them can play, short or third. I really like what I see and where it looks like our infield defense is going.
Sure.
Even outfield, we're looking pretty good there. We just got to execute our bunts, hit the ball, and throw well off the mound.
I think the other part of the story to consider here is part of this. Dane Calvert has really been anchoring that second base spot with Bird being absent, and Ames Alejandro is getting work at third. Well, today, no Dane Calvert at second. Ames Alejandro takes that spot for Kenny to come on the mound, and Bird slots over to third. As we come in bottom of the second, and Kenny gets us going. That one bounced off the dirt and away from Osby Contreras back towards the mound for ball 1. Kenny off the windup, and that one inside, about eye level. And a 2-0. This one struck into the gap. No, Godinez was able to snag it. That'll hold the runner at first at the least.
Well, Godinez showing a lot of range over there at short.
I thought as he dove for that might have squeaked through, but Godinez was able to close the glove around it. And that will go down as a base hit.
Even though he wasn't able to make an out on that kind of range could make a difference between a runner scoring and not.
This one hit right to him. Godinez, throw to first, one away. Runner does advance from first to second, but they get the out of it.
Number 10, catcher Carson Tan.
Carson Tan coming up to the plate here for Vandegrift with a runner in scoring position and one away. And this one lifted up and over the head of Ames Alejandro. Scott is able to come over and get that to make the throw to the cutoff man of Fletcher Wilson. And that'll keep the runner at third. So you'll have runners at the corners with 1 out and 2 aboard.
And we're back to the top of the lineup for them.
Courtesy runner for the catcher, number 1, Ethan Hall.
Kenny's sitting on 24 pitches right now, looking at 25. 14 of the 24 strikes.
Saw Contreras kind of making some hand signals to the defense. Runners at the corners. It's down low. Good job by Contreras. Good urgency. You see the Sarge out there shaded just a hair over to left. In part because most of the plays when the ball has been put in play, have been over to that side. But there is a gap if you can shoot it past Alejandro at second. Ball 3 here for Kenny off the mound. For this at-bat, runners at the corners. And Kenny will walk this one to load the bases.
Looks like Coach A may be coming out for a visit.
That's exactly what he will do. Calls time.
You know, usually Logan's an inning or two guy off the mound. He's thrown 1 1/3 here. We've talked a lot over the last couple of days of how we use our pitching staff, especially in this game. We do have a couple of fellas that are available. I think all hands are on deck.
Sure.
We might be looking at an inning or two each.
And we were talking about it, you know, after the performance from Besa in that first game, that this game, much like it was for Corpus earlier this morning, was going to be a pitch by committee approach for Austin High. They'll leave Kenny out there right now, just perhaps a little meeting to help him calm down, settle in, and see how things progress. He'll throw a strike here.
Yeah, it looked like that was a curveball, 68 miles an hour, got that back door.
Kenny, this one again away. Something, like we said, he's been doing a lot here this afternoon, trying to work away from the batter.
Oh, big curve.
Comes back inside, and that's why we're seeing why he's been wanting to work away, right? Try to get that breaking ball then, get them thinking it's going to stay outside and have it come back in, like you said, on the back door. And I'll go ball 2 here. Wind up. It's outside. Ball 3. So it's a 3-2 count. They got it shown it's 3-1, but umpire saying 3-2. This one gets through between first and second. That'll bring one across, and we'll keep the bases loaded on the base hit.
Now batting for your Vipers, number 9, third baseman, Waylon Jones.
Looks like we might be getting some action down in the Maroon bullpen. See some folks stirring over there.
So bases loaded. Vandegrift with a run across here in the bottom of the second. Kenny comes back, throws the ball. This one inside. Ball 2. So 2-0 count. And the windup from Kenny is 3-0. Coach A. Around, comes back here. Kenny fits one in for a strike. Bases loaded still, 3-1. This one ripped, gets past Bird. That'll score 1. 2 aboard.
That ball bounced right over Bird's glove. Didn't take a true hop. Bounced up and over for a single to left field. And here comes Coach A again,
there
so it looks like he's
yep.
going to make a pitching change.
So the 2 RBI single here off the bat, and we will have our pitching change. Logan Kenny's day is done.
Looks like we're going to see Bodie Marniak, sophomore.
Kenny is still on the hook for the 2 on. So we won't close the book on him yet. He does have 1 away.
So this will be Martiak's first action off the hill in a regular season game for the varsity. Sophomore left-handed batter, left-handed thrower, I should say, right-handed batter.
Good opportunity, in these tournaments, kind of like what we've been talking about kind of throughout, the last few games, last couple of weeks. Some of these younger guys get some of these opportunities, right? And so for somebody like Martiak, kind of gets him a little bit of a taste at this level. Some of guys of this experience see how he fares, and potentially down the line throughout the course of the season, especially as you get into district plays, maybe Martiak, somebody in light of injury, can come in, can give you a few in relief.
Yeah, I know Martiak, Coach A is very high on him, both at bat and off the mound. He's a big, lanky sophomore. Look forward to seeing him put on 20, 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Martiak. Yeah.
So Martiak comes in. This one just a little bit low under the zone. And go ball 1. Runners at first and second, so 1 in scoring position. And only the 1 out after 2 have come across. Gets him to swing and miss. The 1-1. Here's Martiak. That one called foul. Good reaction by both Martiak and Contreras. Martiak got almost more of a compact kind of motion to his windup, and then he just snaps that arm like a whip. So the 1-2. And this one lifted, stays foul. Might not have, if not for the wind. Who knows?
True statement. I'm thankful for that wind right
no
now.
Kid.
Sir.
That wind blowing across from left to right. Don't know if it got enough of that one or not, but the 1-2 swung and missed, and that is 2 down. Got him to swing high at it.
Now batting for your Vipers, number 7, shortstop, Tristan.
But a good little conversation here between Vandegrift, and that's where some of that experience takes place. Okay, they had a pitching change, and so really when you're that first batter up, you're almost more of a leadoff trying to get information, and you would allow that the batting and the battling aspect of it to continue through to the next at bat, giving some information to the next man up here. And this gets fouled off.
Big sharp curveball there at 68 miles an hour.
So here's the 0-1. That one stayed a bit high. So 1-1. And that'll go ball 2.
Well, that's 79 miles an hour from Martiak. He missed a lot of the practice early. His class took a trip. His academy, I should say.
2-1 comes back in. Nice pitch from Martiak for strike 2.
So they kind of put him behind as far as development, which is why he kind of missed the first few games. Looking good so far.
This one way outside.
Just hit 80, but a bit outside.
I was going to say it's about 5 feet off the plate.
Good speed, just control it.
Full count here. Down in the dirt. And so ball 4.
Now batting for your Vikings.
Loads up the bases with 2 out here in the bottom of the second.
Brings up left fielder Tyler Lee, another one of those Wings players, Austin Wings players. Force anywhere.
And Martiak comes back with a strike. And this one gets fouled off for strike 2.
You know, talking about players trying to make the last impression before we go into district. So far, first couple of batters, Martiak's making a case.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's got good stuff.
And this one outside for the first ball of this at-bat. Like you said, I mean, it may be that Martiak isn't nothing but necessarily somebody that you have on the roster initially. It might be somebody that you just kind of go down and get him some reps. And comes back or not. Big
keep
swing
throwing like that. I'd keep him up, sir.
The way he's playing, he's making a case to stay. He's making the decisions. Tough for Coach A here. We'll see if his work can continue. But first, the Maroons, they got some catching up to do from the base paths. We'll see if they can put some runners on when we come back. You're watching Maroon Baseball live on the Vipe Live Network.
Nance Orthodontics is committed to providing the highest quality orthodontics for the Austin community. Dr. Nance is a board-certified orthodontist and offers Invisalign and braces to create beautiful smiles. Our friendly team is passionate about creating beautiful, life-changing smiles for all ages with the latest technological advances. Patient comfort and happiness are our highest priority. Give us a call for your complimentary consultation today.
Number 10, Jason Martinez.
Welcome back in. Jason Martinez coming up here to the plate. You can see the numbers here on your screen. 5 runs scored for Vandegrift on 5 hits. Austin High still looking for their first hit.
Martinez stepping in, 222 on the season, 4 for 18. He's driven in 3, scored 4. He's walked 5 times. On base percentage, .391.
This one hit down to first, and that'll be 1 away.
Vandegrift known for pretty good defense. Good defense and pretty good pitching. Their bugaboo has been bats, especially against the top-notch pitching. So far, they've scored 5, obviously, on us, so swinging it well. And
See Ames Alejandro here. This first one, he will lift back behind into the little pavilion. Fouled off.
Yeah, Ames is 1 for 6 on the season. 8 plate appearances. Has walked a couple of times. On base percentage 375.
Here comes the 0-1. He'll foul it off as well. So the 0-2.
Large contingent of Maroon faithful here.
And Ames Alejandro strikes that cleanly, sends it straight up the second base gap, and that'll go for a base hit.
Make that 2 for 7 for Ames Alejandro. Nice job as he makes a bid to stay up here on the varsity. And here's senior Drew Anderson swinging the bat really, really well. 467 batting average so far this season, 600 on base percentage. Good athlete.
Another one of those two-sport athletes as well. Saw him on the football field.
Played a heck of a linebacker for us.
And he's got quite an eye for that one. Gives him the 1-0.
He's got a double, 3 RBIs, 4 runs scored, and has walked 3 times on the season.
Swing, big swing. Just couldn't make contact in the 1-1. And this one outside for the 2-1. So Anderson. Fouled off.
Great back. Just a hair under it.
Wind up. Anderson gets underneath it this time. That'll lift it. And nobody's going to be able to get underneath it for Vandegrift. It'll fall foul. And Anderson will try again at a 2-2 count. So we'll try the 2-2 again. Anderson putting up a fight here at the plate. Good battle, and that battle will continue as he fouls off this 2-2 offering.
Tedecki at 28 pitches, 29 coming. 21 of those 28 have been for strikes.
Here's Tedecki from the windup. Anderson fouls off this one. So it'll remain 2-2, and we'll reset, try it again. So a really good battle right now between Anderson and Tedecki. Off the bump. From the windup, foul it off again. Runner at first. But the count remains an even 2-2. Here's the windup, and it is away. That's going to allow Alejandro to advance over to second.
That's a big play. Takes the force off. Gives Anderson a full count.
Yeah.
I love his 2-strike approach, choking up on the bat. You can see that it's just fouling off the pitches he didn't like.
Full count here. And Anderson watched the pitcher for a while and then calls time. A game within the game. Wind-up throw. Anderson fouls it off.
Coach A almost fell on his caboose there. I think he got his cleats or something caught in the grass. That would have been hilarious for us, not for him. Actually, I think it's even worse. He didn't have cleats on. I think those are normal running shoes. We'll have to give him some grief later.
A little gust of wind here. It's picked up. Anderson continuing to battle here. The 3-2. This one struck cleanly. It's a base hit. Alejandro rounding third. It's more than a base hit. Anderson rounding second. He'll round for third. And Anderson gets down. Anderson. Oh, thought about it. Wisely does not go.
He shot it right through the gap in right center field. If he would have busted it out of the box, he may have had a chance for inside the Parker there.
No kidding.
He didn't turn on the Jets until he was past first base. I think he thought that was only going to be a stand-up double. He ended up getting 3 out of it. Let's see if James can get him home. 5-1 now, Vipers.
And Scott rips that over to third. Was hoping he could get the bounce off it to send it over. And a really good job by third base. Third base cheated way in. And that is 2 away. But the run does score.
Yeah, he brought in the run. A good job there. Love to see him keep that going, but we'll see what Basa can do. Maybe we can get some going with 2 outs.
Basa will take it inside. That'll be strike 1. Called strike 1 there.
We've had a Red Jacket sighting today. They're still here. Now we have a Mama Scott in, as well as a cheerleading sighting too. Cheerleader sighting. Big conglomerate of Maroon faithful that are really, truly loyal forever out here on this beautiful Saturday. Matter of fact, I think we have more Maroons than we have Viper fans here, at least.
I think so. Pretty close. You got a few hovering down there in the pavilion outside of the seating.
Oh, yeah, those that want to help the coach.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. The 2-2. Swung on and missed, and that'll retire the side. So Austin High cuts into the deficit, makes it a 3-run ball game here going into the bottom of the third, and now Brody Martiak will go back to work off the mound and see if he can continue this run he is on. We'll find out when we come back. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vipe Live Network.
Hi everyone, I'm Gigi for Chuck Nash Chevrolet Buick GMC in San Marcos. We'd like to invite you to shop Chuck Nash, where we combine small-town hospitality with a huge selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Right now, we have over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, and a friendly staff to guide you through your purchase. Stop into Chuck Nash Chevrolet Buick GMC today and experience a new way of buying or selling your next vehicle.
Almost every day, banking touches some aspect of your life, from growing your business, saving for retirement, or planning for future generations of your family. That's why it's so important to pick the right financial partner. The good folks at Plains Capital Bank have deep roots in Austin, serving Central Texas-owned and operated businesses for over 20 years, from commercial real estate to managing your wealth. You can find them at plainscapital.com or call them at 457-7500. And when you talk to them, be sure to tell you that my friend Paul said hello, member FDIC.
Welcome back in. Take a look at the numbers on your screen. Austin High's made this a 5-2 game. 2 runs scored on 2 hits. Vandegrift Vipers, 5 runs scored on 5 hits.
Just found out Jack Herkamp will be going to A&M next year, not playing sports. He's had a heck of a football and baseball career here for Vandegrift. But next stage of his life is books. Books and doing some learning. So good for Jack Herkamp. Great kid, great family.
2-0 count, Martiak. Comes back 3-0. So the young sophomore worked himself out to a 3-0 count. And it'll be strike 1. Batter thought it was going to be ball 4. The umpire told him otherwise. This one gets fouled off. So that'll bring us to a full count here for Martiak after starting out 3-0.
Boy, that wind is whipping.
Boy, that wind, I was going to say, that throw I think was meant to be more down the line, and it got pulled back. And that'll be ball 4. And we'll put a runner on first for Vandegrift. Fortunately for us, that sun has moved behind the press box, so the IT equipment is safe from the rays of the sun. It is cooled considerably, in part because of that breeze.
Hardly a cloud in the sky.
And it started out extremely cloudy. Sun was fighting with it, and of course first thing this morning on the way over here, wondered if it might dampen our outing this morning. And this one, rounding second to throw to third. That was a long safe call.
He was selling it.
I was going to say, he took his time making that decision, and the cloud of dust at the play at third. But a run does score, nobody out. I'll leave you with a runner in scoring position. Martiak's pitch, just a bit high, ball 1. Six to 2 lead for Vandegrift. And the 2-0.
Must have been high, 78 high.
Good speed on Martiak's pitches. Having a hard time getting him to land where he'd like him. As the 3-0 turns to 4-0, and the runner advances to first, and will put runners at the corners for Martiak. So conversation with Contreras and Martiak.
Let's see if we can't just regroup here with Martiak. This is the first time he's faced a little adversity at this level. Came in, did a good job at the end of last inning. Struggling a little bit with control. Let's regroup.
On a little bit of a conversation there between Contreras and Martiak, so it almost seems like for the better part of this half inning at least, they haven't necessarily been on the same page. See if they can sort that out after that conversation they just shared. And this one gets fouled off down the third base line, was inside, and they swung.
We need to strike out our quick pop-up here. Anything else, a run is going to score. Way outside, 74 miles an hour.
It comes way inside, gets him to pull the trigger on it, maybe hoping he can get him to chase by coming back out. And the 1-1. Throw back to first. The 1-1 inside, gets past Contreras. That run will score, and the runner looking for third got caught in the rundown. That's one away. So I will empty out the base paths.
Another run scored. Probably will go down as a pass ball. Not sure if he just got crossed up or what happened there.
Not sure.
Didn't hit the dirt.
It came inside, and Contreras couldn't get in front of it for whatever reason. And the initial confusion was whether or not was there contact with the batter, because the batter came back and maybe tried to sell or thought maybe contact had been made, even if it was grazing contact.
Nobody on, one out, bottom of third.
Yeah, the good news with that rundown is it gets you an out and it clears the base paths with it. Does not put a runner in scoring position to add to the damage. The only downside is the run does get across, and that takes a bounce off the dirt. Not much Javi Cadenas can do about that.
Yeah, they got a lip out here on this field, and that ball was heading, it was a line drive heading down, hit the ground, and bounced 20 feet in the air.
Yeah, I mean, Javi Cadenas sitting there at short, but because of that lip, like you said, Javi Cadenas gets in position, but because there's that lip and because of the angle, it hits and bounces up and over the dirt and into left field to put a runner on. And this is going to be another pass ball, and the runner will advance to second. With one out.
Got to squeeze those.
Coach A does not appear to be in any kind of hurry. Don't see any motion over there. If we talked about there, being a pitch by committee and maybe everybody getting an inning and a half. No rush here with Martiak. Part of it is let the young sophomore just kind of play it out, right? And let him get the experience. So the 2-0. And that one upstairs. 3-0 count.
It's 35-36 pitches now by Martiak.
This one driven. The Sarge trying to get there. And he will make the throw, but he was not the one in position.
And we're not backing up the play, and we just gave up another 90 feet because our pitcher's not backing up the play at home like he should be. That's a sophomore mistake right there.
So run will score, and now Coach A will come out and have that conversation with Martiak off that.
He hit the ball right into the teeth of that wind. Both Martinez and Scott were full speed over to try to grab that.
Martinez tried to make the play, and not sure if in the effort he just dropped it or the way he landed, his feet came out in front of him and he fell backwards. And that could have been just as much as to clear the way for Scott to make that throw. And we will have a change here at pitcher. So Martiak's day is done.
So we have Javi Cruz coming in. Javi Cruz, this is his second game. He's pitched 2/3 of an inning, faced 6 batters, thrown 22 pitches, given up 1 hit, 3 runs, none of those earned, walked 2.
Part of it, you know, the move here, you have to wonder if part of it is just for simply the sake of making sure you keep Martiak. If you're planning on keeping him on the roster, are you trying to keep him available to come in relief on Tuesday?
Well, listen, I understand why Coach A is high on him. He looked
good. I mean, you know, had his moments, had some that I'm sure he'd love to have back. The other part of it, though, I wonder if the switch is, hey, man, you got to back up your catcher, and this is what we're going to do as a result of that. Is it a teaching moment? Is it a, hey, we want to save that arm? We've seen enough.
Well, you know, sometimes you don't want younger guys especially, or any of these kids, but especially younger guys, to lose their confidence so early on. He came in that second inning, got the job done, and then for whatever reason, coming back into this inning, he just kind of lost it. I don't know whether it was nerves or just, you know, whatever. Who knows?
Yeah.
But to me, his stuff looks very good, and I would take this as a positive for him.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Granted, he don't want to give up these runs. I understand that. But overall, very, very good stuff from Bodie Martiak. So let's see what Javi Cruz can do here.
Just a teaching moment here for Martiak and an opportunity for him to continue to improve, and we'll see what Javi Cruz does here.
Throws that behind
way
him.
outside.
That was about 6 inches behind his head. We've got some more action in the bullpen. Looks like Gage Pitt down there warming up.
1-0 count. Turns into 2-0.
Infield is in on the grass.
And that'll go for strike 1. With only a runner at third, seems they're preparing for a play at the plate. It's outside, and Javi Cruz comes running down. Good job by Contreras. That'll hold the runner at third. But it will go ball 3 here. The 3-1. Contact made. Martinez ranging over, makes a grab, and the run will score. And Martinez knew it. But it is another out.
Yeah, that's a good play by Martinez over there. Caught that like the wide receiver he is, on the run, in stride, and no chance whatsoever to throw the runner who was tagging out. So that makes it 9-2. And that one was straight to the backstop.
Yeah. Nobody on, 2 away. And Cruz, swing and a miss there. Able to draw that out for strike 1. just a little over an hour into our game 2 of our doubleheader. And 2-1 count here, 2 away. And Cruz misses wild again.
I think he's keeping them light on their feet. He doesn't want them digging in.
A wide pitch.
We have double barrel action in the Maroon bullpen. Looks like Tony Gonzalez has joined Gage Pitt.
This gets fouled off. Liberty Hill has arrived. They'll play after Austin High and Vandegrift conclude.
I said Tony Gonzalez. I meant Tony Dominguez.
This gets lifted. Bird can't. Javi Godinez over pursued, and he wound up running straight underneath it, and it dropped in behind him. So a base hit.
Boy, he was there to make that play. To your point, he just overran it. Those kind of plays that you've got to make when you're playing a team of the caliber of Vandegrift.
And that one, those kinds of pitches from Javi Cruz become dangerous for that reason alone. Misses wide, misses high and wide, and that leads to the runner advancing into scoring position. As this one gets fouled off for strike 1. And that one hit him on the shoulder.
Yeah, this may be quick work for Javi Cruz. It'd be one thing if you're missing off the plate just a little bit, but he's all over the place.
And I'm going to think that is it for Cruz, because Dominguez is coming out there with Coach A to take over. So this will be the second pitching change of this inning alone here in the bottom of the third. 9-2 lead for Vandegrift. Dominguez will come aboard with 2 away and a runner on first and second.
New pitcher for the Maroons, number 22, Tony Dominguez.
So Dominguez, this is his third game pitched. He's thrown a third of an inning, faced 5 batters, thrown 30 pitches. Gave up 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned, walked 2. So we've got no wins, no losses. And here's an opportunity to show that he belongs on this varsity team.
And we talk about the position and the battling right now. Everybody, some of these guys, we talk about jockeying for position to stay on this roster going into district. Because like you said, you wouldn't expect Coach A to carry 21. Two aboard, 2 away. As 4 have come across the plate here in the bottom of the third.
Dominguez, a sophomore.
We talk about the youth, him and Martiak, the future of the Maroons bullpen. Nice pitch from Dominguez to get this going here. Where is that bat? Strike 1. There's that one in, strike 2. Gets fouled off. The 0-2. Contreras has to pop up. And so the 1-2 from Dominguez. This one gets chopped down the line to third. Bird catching him in a rundown. And all he had to do was tag up. And that retires the side. So the Maroons give up 4 here in the bottom of the third after scoring 2 themselves in the top of it. And we'll see if they can regroup and come out and respond. Tony Dominguez gets them out of the inning. And now these bats need to go to work and try to cut into this 7-run deficit. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vibe Live Network when we come back.
I'm Hunter Malloy with Prosperity Roofing. Central Texas got hit hard with hail this year, and Prosperity Roofing has been there to pick up the pieces.
My house took some damage in that last hailstorm, and Prosperity Roofing quickly worked directly with my insurance company to replace it with a way better looking roof. They earned my 5-star review. I highly recommend them.
Everything important in your life happens under your roof. Let Prosperity Roofing give your home the roof it deserves.
Maroon Baseball is supported by Austin's oldest independently run pharmacy, Terrytown Pharmacy. Founded in 1941, Terrytown Pharmacy has been family-owned and operated since 1950, and the Newberry family is loyal forever. Visit Terrytown for great customer service, incredible gifts, and necessities. If you haven't transferred your prescriptions yet, give them a call. Thank you, Terrytown Pharmacy, for your consistent annual support of Maroon Athletics. Terrytown Pharmacy, online at terrytownpharmacy.com.
Well, we welcome you back in. David Roy, James Scott here in the broadcast booth from Vandegrift Field, and we open up with Osby Contreras.
First pitch ground out to shortstop, right?
There you go.
Abilo over there at shortstop's showing a strong arm, good consistent glove.
So from Contreras, we go to Godinez. Godinez, he'll ground over to short. That throw to first is in time, and that'll be 2 away.
Was that 2 pitches, 2 outs?
2 pitches, 2 outs.
You're going to be tempted here if you're Bird, just take a pitch. Give your defense some time. And he swings.
And he swings, but misses, and that'll be strike 1. And the wind-up, swing and miss here again from Patrick Bird. Down 0-2. Two away. The wind up, and Bird will go down looking.
Well, that was a quick inning.
Quick half inning for the Maroons, and they'll trail 9-2. So we'll pay another bill, then we'll be right back. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vibe Live Network.
Do you need a haircut? A real haircut? One that's tapered or blocked, clipped or trimmed just the way you like it? Come let the licensed barbers at the Sportsman's Barbershop take care of you. The Sportsman's Barbershop is a friendly, no-frills neighborhood barbershop located in Austin's Brikerwood area. Our barbers specialize in traditional haircuts for men and boys, along with beard trims and straight razor shaves. The trophies and mounts donated by customers that line the barbershop walls serve as testaments to over 60 years of serving Austin. Give the guys a call, 512-459-9525 to schedule Schedule your appointment today or look us up online at sportsmansbarbershop.com. The Sportsman's Barbershop, an Austin institution.
Well, welcome you back in here into the broadcast booth. Maroons still trailing by 7. Tony Dominguez back to work off the mound.
And we're back to Jack Herkamp getting his 3rd plate appearance. And here we are only in the bottom of the 4th.
Wind up throw, Dominguez couldn't get it to quite drop into the zone. Dominguez with a little bit more of a vertical throwing motion, works up and down the zone as opposed to working across it.
He dropped that one in at 62 miles an hour. A lot of different variations of speed on that big curve of his.
This one lifted, Martinez can't get over there, and that's foul. And the argument from Vandegrift, trying to plead the case that it was fair, and the umpire telling him no.
What'd you think?
I thought it was on the line, but I thought it was a little bit more to the left. I didn't think it was quite fair.
Okay.
From my vantage point.
Okay. I like your call. I like his call, too.
I like his call. Well, his call is the one that matters, so this gets fouled off as well, 1-2. So, Tony Dominguez still working here. Works our way up to a 2-2 count. Nobody on, nobody out. And that'll bring us to a full count here for Tony Dominguez. Wind up. Contact made, had to reach for it, and it'll drop down in front of James Scott for a base hit.
Now batting for your Vipers, number 3, right fielder, Dylan Desai.
So I'll put one on. And Contreras, throw to first. Not quite in time, ball 1. Ball 2. That runner over at first, kind of starting to make a break on Dominguez's throwing motion, but then he stays off, and Contreras makes a throw.
Nice
there it
stop.
is, back to second, and Ames Alejandro couldn't hold on. Don't know that it would have mattered if he had anyways, as I don't know that the throw quite beat the runner.
No, but he did a heck of a job stopping that ball.
He did.
And that one, too.
Has to stop another one.
That was a walk. So, you know, we go into district play next week. I'm just looking at our district right now. Some surprising records there. Dripping Springs is 8-6 going into today.
Okay.
That's a little surprising. I actually had Dripping Springs picked to win state.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, a long time to go. You don't know who they're playing, but I'm a little surprised that they've lost 6. Del Valley's 2-8. Westlake is actually 10-1-1.
Okay.
Which is surprising with as
That is
much
surprising.
as they've lost in people, that is, from last year. Lake Travis, shockingly, is 4-5-3. They've actually tied 3 times.
Okay.
Which is,
That is
unusual.
That is extremely unusual.
But they actually have a losing record.
That adds to making it unusual.
Yeah. Bowie's 5-5. Aikens is 4-5. And then we are, of course, 3-8 now.
This one sent back to the mound. Dominguez looked over his shoulder. So runners will advance to second and third. And Dominguez takes the out at first. To put one away, but 2 in scoring position. And Dominguez thought about it, but it was going to be a long throw and much easier to just get the out at first.
We dropped that curve in there at 65, or 55, I'm sorry. He's been from 55, 65, 69 on his off speed. Slow, slow, and slower. Then he comes in with the fastball ranging from upper 60s to low 70s. Again, you don't have to throw hard. It's all about pitching.
That's right.
And keeping that hitting off balance.
Two-0. Down to the dirt. Good block by Contreras. Fell over trying to get to it.
Yeah, he's working hard back there.
Get over there. And it's 3-0.
Dripping Springs has lost to Stony Point 3-2, Dallas Jesuit, Lucas Lovejoy, Prosper, and Corpus Christi Callahan, and Flower Mound.
Dominguez comes back with a strike there. And of course, you know, all these records, some surprises, some look good, some look, you know, maybe better than others. Kind of hard to tell when you talk about these tournaments having time limits as this gets fouled off. And, you know, that certainly I think is playing into the, you know, like Travis numbers that you talk about, because there's a time limit on some of these games here. You know, in a full game, maybe they close some of those out, maybe they split it. Get into district. It will be interesting to see how things go. Now, the one thing to note for Austin High comparatively to last season, you're getting Del Valley really early in the schedule. Last season, you had Del Valley late, second to last series in district play, as Dominguez walks another, and Coach A calls for time here, and we'll have another pitching change. So pitching by committee today.
Or at least in the second game. This is how important is basic going the distance in that first game now.
Kidding, yeah. Gage Pitt will come in for Tony Dominguez. Bases are loaded, only one away. Current time on hand is 2:20. Again, we have that 2-hour time limit, so I got play starting at 12:58. So a little over a half hour remaining in this one.
Yeah, so Gage Pitt, senior, number 13, making his 4th appearance. He's thrown 3 1/3 innings, started 1 game. He's faced 80. He's 0-1. No save opportunities for Gage. Given up 4 hits, 7 runs, only 2 earned. has walked 6 and struck out 1. You probably want to see a little flip-flop in that balls to strike.
Yeah, no kidding.
Strikeout ratio, but you know, Gage Pitt coming in, he did a great job last time up, just eating some innings.
Yeah. He'll come into a situation with bases loaded. And so Dominguez will still be on the hook for all 3 of them. And he comes into that situation with 1 away. So let's see Gage Pitt get a couple of strikeouts here and retire the side. You also have a change here at shortstop. Out is Javi Godinez, and in would appear to be Dane Calvert. So another substitution there of note. And Gage Pitt's first one here gets fouled away. Here comes the 0-1. And that's upstairs for ball 1. Godinez in the pen right now, working on the resistance bands over there. 2-1 count now here for Pitt.
He may be our next man off the mound.
It could be. Gage Pitt, the 2-1. Just catching outside, can't catch that part of the zone. 3-1.
Wow, that wind's picking up.
That wind is really starting to pick up. You talked about it a few minutes ago. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, and now this cloud cover is starting to come in as this is lifted. Martinez can't get underneath it. It'll get pushed foul.
You know, going back to our district competitors, we've got Westlake at 10-1-1. They beat Stony Point 5-2. Of course, we lost to Stony Point, 5-1, I believe it was. Dripping Springs ended up splitting 2 different games with Stony Point.
Pitt comes in on the 3-2, and that will go as a walk. It'll advance the runner and give them a 10-2 lead. You talked about Godinez. Well, he is currently in there warming up. So to your point, he would be next off the mound, should it come to that. And between the time limit and the 8-run rule, we'll see if it does. As Pitt working the mound here. Still has bases loaded. And that'll go for a 1-1 count. Ducks are all on the pond here. Wind up. This one fouled off. So a 1-2 count. Here comes Pitt. And this one gets fouled away. 1-2 count, only 1 out. And all the ducks are on the pond. Bases loaded. Here's Pitt. That'll bring us to a 2-2 count. wind up from Pitt. This gets fouled away.
So setting the defense for the Maroons, since we did have the little substitution. Wilson still at first. Ames Alejandro still at second. Calvert, to your point earlier, is at short. Bird still at third. Martinez, Scott, and Anderson in the outfield.
Wind up from Pitt. This one gets fouled away as well.
Gage Pitt on the mound, and Osby Contreras, his battery mate. Battling here in the bottom of the fourth. Believe this tournament, David Roy, it's a 10-run rule limit.
Is it 10?
It is 10. 2-hour time limit, 10-run after 5. Big key here is to get an out. We need a strikeout or a pop-up. That's a fly ball.
That one's going to get popped up. Anderson tracking it, settles underneath it, makes a grab. That'll bring one across, and that'll only advance one. So
Now batting for your first, number 15, first baseman, Canyon Millar.
a run scores, but you also get an out. And that makes it to a 9-point game as this wind really continuing to pick up. And these gray clouds may be bringing rain with them.
So it looks like Vandegrift is going to start the substitution, trying to get their guys some at-bats.
Yeah.
Maybe they're guys that don't play as often.
Well, with the sacrifice fly out there into right, it's going to bring runners to the corners and will leave second base open. This one driven to Alejandro. Alejandro flip over to second, and Dane Calvert's there to retire the side. And so that'll bring us into the top of the fifth. Vandegrift leads 11-2 when we return. You're watching Maroon Baseball on the Vibe Live Network.
Real estate companies come and go in Central Texas about as fast as the wildflowers in spring. But when you're looking for a house, you're looking for a place to put down roots, a place to call home for years to come, which means you need a realtor with roots in the community, like Tate Property. Tate Property is a family-owned real estate brokerage located in Terrytown. We grew up here, we live here, and we work here, representing buyers and sellers of Austin's finest luxury homes, investment properties, and farm and ranch retreats. This is our passion. Give Tate Property a call at 512-474-8283. That's 512-474-TATE. Or look up online at tateproperty.com and let us know how we can help you today. Tate Property, exceptional homes, exceptional service.
Welcome back in. David Roy, James Scott here on what started out as a beautiful afternoon. Now that cold front starting to blow in, and it is blowing indeed. Windy here. Did not start out this way, but it has progressed and continued to grow windy as this day has continued on. You see the numbers on your screen. 11-2 lead here for Vandegrift over the Maroons of Austin High. And we will see Fletcher Wilson work at the plate here, trying to cut into this deficit.
This is only the 16th batter for the Maroons to hit here in the fifth. 3 hits, 2 runs. Only struck out twice, so we put the ball in play.
down 2 strikes. Now ball 1. That one got skipped across.
Wilson 0 for 1.
And the 1-2. That one was aimed, or at least I shouldn't say aimed, but was heading for Fletcher Wilson's head. And I don't know if the wind maybe helped him out there or not. Pulled it back in, ball 2.
That's another one.
And that's going to go ball 3, so it's going to bring us to a full count here.
Yeah, what he's trying to do is start the breaking ball at his head and have it break over the inside part of the plate. And by Fletcher's reaction the last 2 times, you know,
it's breaking like maybe a little too late.
Yeah.
Wilson grounds this over to third. Throw over to first is in time. And that is 1 away for the Maroons.
Jason Martinez standing in 0 for 1.
Coach A chatting it up with your third baseman.
We definitely need to get some runners on the bags.
And Martinez fouls this one off. It was a good job by Wilson trying to thread it past that third baseman down the line, and he just made a better play, able to range over because he is not tight to the bag. Playing pretty well off as Martinez will take a called strike 2. Down 0-2. The clouds have fully settled over us here. And that'll be ball 1. That one inside. Martinez had to lean back. The 1-2 count. That one outside into the opposite side batter's box, and it'll bring us to an even 2-2 count. And Martinez fouls off the 2-2. Stays alive. Stays fighting. And takes the 2-2 down in the dirt for a full count again. Here's the 3-2 for Martinez. Fouls it off.
Good at bat, fighting him.
There you go.
He's battling.
3-2 count with 1 away, nobody on. Wind up, Martinez fouls this one off. Got just a piece of it. Keep this going. And that'll walk Jason Martinez. So that'll put a runner on for Ames Alejandro to come up to the plate.
Ames has got one of our 3 hits.
Yeah.
1 for 1. The other 2 hits by Anderson and Scott.
Ames had a nice one earlier. Got us going in the third. With a nice rip up the second base gap. That one over his head, had to duck underneath it. And the 1-0. And that one fouled off.
Boy.
He ripped that one off the bat.
Swinging the bat well.
Again, like we talked about, going to make this decision for Coach A very difficult. between the performances today from Ames Alejandro, Bodie Martiak, Tony Dominguez, of course. You're sitting at 21 and likely don't want to carry more than 18. We'll see what the final number is. We'll learn all of that by Tuesday. As Alejandro swings and misses at the 2-1 offering, puts him down in the count 2-2.
Yeah, Hobson is doing what he did to Fletcher. He started that curveball right at Ames, and it broke over the front. There's another one.
Just couldn't get it to break back in far enough. 3-2 full count.
Just hang in there. Let it hit you. It's an off speed. It's not going to hurt.
Full count here for Ames Alejandro. That one downstairs. And he will advance. And that'll put us on with 2 aboard. Only 1 out, and up comes Drew Anderson with James Scott on deck. And we'll see, it looks like Vandegrift maybe having a change in conversation themselves.
I think this might be more the coach just saying, listen, you got 11-2 lead. Come after these guys.
Yeah.
Enough of trying to hit your spots. Put your defense to work and let's get going. All right, Drew Anderson coming up. He of the hot bet. A 1-for-1, just driven in one of our runs. That one hit and that one driven in was on a triple. He shot the gap in right center.
Runner in scoring position is Martinez. Here's Anderson. This one skips off the dirt. That's going to go on a wild pitch.
That takes off the force.
That one skipped in the dirt and then up and over the catcher's head. That allows for Martinez and Alejandro to advance one. And gives Anderson a 1-0. And Anderson will hit this back over to third, throw to first. Alejandro.
Oh my God. He called him out. He was safe. Should not have done that by any stretch of imagination. But Alejandro had no reason.
I thought he beat the throw to the bag, and Coach A coming out to have that conversation. And it looks like that would do it.
Well, he had no reason to be off the bag there. Boy, but I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. We'll just get out of here before this storm blows in.
That's right.
11-2 game.
11-2, the final score.
And Maroons fall to 3-9, I believe.
Yeah. That's what I've got them at. So 3-9 going into district play. Well, here's the thing now. So obviously not the outcome you'd like. You had things working for you earlier today. You come up against better competition, better pitching. Things don't quite work as well as you like, but batting-wise, you're still able to come away with a couple of runs. You still had runners on. The problem really just turns into struggling, and the struggle defensively from your own pitching, which to Austin High's credit, they were, by the time coming in here, they were on their last legs from a pitching standpoint too. You know, you don't have Besa, Martinez, any of them. You're trying to save as many arms as you can, and you're certainly saving your starters for Del Valle.
Yeah, listen, you get out of tournament play, and at least you have a good idea, if you're Coach A, of what you want to do with your rotation, with your lineup.
Yeah.
I think there's no doubt that Besa, Bird, Kenny, and Godinez is your best defensive infield.
Yep.
Scott in center, most likely Drew Anderson. He's playing lights out.
Yep.
To get one of those two off those two defensive positions, and then you got Jason Martinez. Or going to be Ty Schreiber, somebody like that over and left. It all is probably going to depend on who's pitching. I think Fletcher Wilson's your ace.
I think so.
I think Ty Schreiber's made a case to get a lot of focus on the mound.
I think Jason Martinez has made that case as well. And
Martinez
he's
as
made
well.
a really strong case over these last few weeks to get a lot of opportunities starting off the mound, not necessarily just being saved for in relief. But I think he's made the case that he should be able to get opportunities to start coming off the mound. I think some of the other guys who are making a case to stay on the roster, Alejandro, I think, has made a really strong case as well today. Brody Martiak, I think, made a pretty good case as well. You can make a case for Tony Dominguez. We liked what we saw from Dane Calvert earlier in the season, as well as, maybe a defensive substitution. We'll see. He might be somebody that you call up later in the season as needed. It'll just kind of depend. But I think certainly that enough of these guys have given Coach A enough to think about prior to Tuesday's home opener at Burger Field against Del Valle.
Sure. And the best thing, next best thing about tournament season is you can flush the schedule and the standings because it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter now, right? In everything that you've seen, because, again, the other part of it is that we're talking about tournament play, and it's not true just for Coach A and Austin High, but the rest of your district is using this tournament for the same thing that we've been telling you they've been using it for, which is figure out who our best defensive infield is, what the lineup needs to look like to be the most efficient and effective from a batting standpoint, what our pitching rotation should look like, who our relievers are, who are guys that we can start, who are the guys that can go, throw 60 pitches if we ask them to have to come in and maybe eat up some innings, things like that. You've learned all of that, but so has everybody else. And so the standings don't mean much. The records don't mean much. Now they start to mean something, right? Everything kind of resets, but now the games matter, right? Because now you've only got 14 of them left. 7 two-game series throughout the district remaining to sort out.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's why, some of these district rival records, you kind of raise your eyebrow at. Lake Travis 4, 5, and 3, I believe is what I said. Surprising, but you never know how they're playing it. They could be putting a lot of guys in that maybe wouldn't normally get to play. Maybe that's what Dripping Springs is doing as well. I think I'm probably most shocked at, besides, Lake Travis having a losing record right now, is Westlake off to a 10-1-1 start.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see how it goes. We'll find out the answers to all of it, all the questions, all the speculating and the prognosticating. Well, it's done over with because on Tuesday, the district play and the games that actually mean something, they begin. And so we will wrap it up here on what has turned into a chilly Saturday afternoon with the wind blowing. We'll get out of here, get packed up. We appreciate all of you tuning in, staying with us throughout this doubleheader, and we will see you on Tuesday night from Burger Field for the Austin High home opener against Del Valle. We'll see you then. On behalf of our entire broadcast crew, Skylar Gillespie, my broadcast partner James Scott, Lulu Korn, our producer, was here for the first game, not able to be here for the second game. I'm David Roy signing off. We will see you Tuesday night, 7:30, first pitch. Have a good night, everybody.